I dyed this vest that I just released with the method called object dyeing, and it came out completely different than how it was supposed to look. Here's what happened. For context, there are two main ways to dye fabric. The first is called piece dyeing, where you dye the fabric before you construct the garment, and the second is called garment dyeing, where you construct the garment first and then dye it after. I mentioned this because I went through both processes during the sampling phase. So the fabric I used was a Japanese twill, and it was made of 98% cotton and 2% polyester. Now keep in mind the 2% polyester for later in the video. This is what it looked like before dyeing. Now I wanted to object dye this vest for a couple reasons, and the main reason was it gives a look where when you do this wash, the fabric cannot properly absorb the pigment in the seams, resulting in distinct white lines throughout the garment. Throughout the vest I used curved seams, and what I was hoping for is when I went to go dye the fabric, the seams would highlight these white lines. However, since I was filling the garment with Thinsulate because I wanted to give it that puffer effect, I couldn't construct the whole garment and then take it to the dye house. So what I had to do was partially construct it and then dye it. And here's how it looked after the first attempt. There was no white contrast along the seams, which was the intended reason why I wanted to do this. Instead, there was only contrast along the 3D pocket, which to me looked off. After seeing this, I had to pivot from the original idea. Before scrapping the project, I noticed that the twill fabric hadn't properly absorbed the dye due to the 2% polyester, leading to an inconsistent color palette throughout. Instead of looking at this as a flaw, I actually looked at this as an opportunity to lean into the process again, but for a different intended purpose. So instead of taking a partially constructed vest back to the dye house a second time, I went and got fabric, dyed that, and then constructed it from there. And this is what it looked like.